Overall seed in the tournament Virginia is, and this is not an easy path just to make it to the Elite Eight. This is like Wildcats Central, Kansas State Wildcats, Arizona Wildcats, Davidson Wildcats, who take on the ultimate Wildcats, the 8-time national champion Kentucky Wildcats, who, by the way, if they get to the Final Four under John Calipari, Calipari will tie Adolph Rupp for the most tournament wins in Kentucky history. Cal joins us right now. So, John, I'm sure you're really pleased with your seeding and your placement in the bracket. What was your reaction?
Well, I was in a car with my wife, and my phone blew up. And it was like one after the other, and I didn't know there were so many ways to say you got screwed again. That's what kept hitting my phone. And I'm like, what just happened? We couldn't be in the play-in game. Did they have a site in Anchorage? What?
You're going to Boise.
But you know what? Hey, look, I'm happy that my team, they have smiles on their faces. They're the youngest team maybe in the history of the NCAA to go in the tournament and try to play. There's never been a team this young, ever. And you know what? They're liking each other. They're falling into roles. It's taken time. The time was they have to learn as young people to conquer themselves before they worry about conquering somebody else. That means all the stuff, not only on the court, away from the court, your work ethic on the court. When you're tired, you still have 40% left. You don't let go of the rope. We had to go through that for 3 months. We had to go through 4 losses so that they could text me and say, Coach, we really need you. Like, wow, thank you. Let's get to work. So this has been one experience after another that this team needed. And they needed individually. I said this yesterday night before they went to bed. How many of you had gone down in that, I call it the crap hole, where you can't play? And they all raised their hand. And you had to fight. You had to convince yourself. You had to work your way out of it. And you had to shut it down, all the clutter, where everybody was trying to blame somebody else. You had to own your performance. That's what this season has been. I'm having a ball. I mean, I'm really having a ball. And they can't steal my joy. So we're going to Boise. And I had to ask my guys, how many of you know what state Boise's in?
Yeah, he says he's having a ball. You know, if his guys were behind him, they'd go, what?
Yeah.
But
we might only get 50% here on that question.
Hey, what's the biggest checkout? You talk about your
that
identity.
Hey, that Duke education, I know you don't know. Jay Bird, you don't know.
But my butler does.
Hey, your team's identity has totally changed. You know, the addition of P.J. Washington to give you some low post play and just the way Shai Gilgeous is playing. What have you done with this team in the last, say, month?
Well, the biggest thing was there were things we were doing that weren't going to work. We wanted to dribble, drive, and lane. We weren't willing passers. We weren't good enough with the ball. We had to go back to play like my UMass teams played. The second thing was I defined the roles. Now, you may say, why didn't you do that at the beginning of the year? Because I don't know. These are all 18-year-olds. This is all freshmen. I didn't know them that way. I didn't coach them every day. It took me 3 months to figure out, okay, here are the roles. I went around the room in front of each other. This is what I need you to do. Can you do this? I don't need more than that. I need you to do this. Will you? And we went around the room and just said, we're doing this with this guy and that with that guy, and we're playing off. And you know what? It made it easier for them. And I get the greatest kids and their families. This has been hard. Great families who have entrusted me with their sons, and they all have aspirations and all the other stuff. And you know what? We had to climb through this. There's no skipping steps. But again, I already told them, we will have the toughest road to go. And why would you want it any different? Why would you want it any different? And they looked, and when they came down and said, Coach, you were right. I said, come on, I've been right. I was wrong. What did I tell you guys? I think it was 1978 was the last time I was wrong. So it's around in that time. But this has been an interesting run. And what they did this weekend showed me a lot about them.
Cal, what is the status on Jarrett Vanderbilt, and what does he bring to your team?
He's still limping. And naturally, they're because they knew we played on Sunday afternoon and had to travel, they're going to have us play on Friday in Boise. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we play Thursday in
You
Boise.
played Thursday? Okay.
Now, they could oh, yeah.
They have
we could play at 9 o'clock.
Cal, they have charter airplanes. You're not going to the Yukon Peninsula. You're going to fly there, be there in a couple of hours.
6 hours. Let's not say a couple hours.
Okay. Maybe 3 or 4.
Then,
All right, Cal, back
so
to the
anyway.
question. Yes.
What was the question? I forget what it was.
Jared
That's what happens
Vanderbilt.
when you
Jared
Who asked
Vanderbilt.
me what?
That was me, Jay Will.
Oh, Jared.
Yes.
Is he on my team? Look, Jared, I'm saying right now, probably still hurt. He's limping around because we don't have till Friday. Tomorrow is an off day, so we can't do anything with him tomorrow. Tuesday is a practice day in the morning, and then we travel. So I would say by Tuesday I'm going to have an idea, but I will promise you, if he's not 195%, I won't play him. You can't play guys that aren't totally healthy. Can I just tell you, he wants to play. But I can't do it to him or us if he's not able to go full boat because the games are too intense.